Hello everyone, a very good afternoon. Welcome to the first class of the FSSAI English batch. I hope so you people are doing good. And in today's class is basically an introduction class. Okay, so I hope so you know me. You have attended. You must have attended the YouTube sessions. That's why you people are here. Okay, a very good afternoon, Karishma. Welcome to the session. Okay, so first of all, let's discuss something that how many of you are preparing for which post? Uh, Please mention in the comment section that what are the posts for which you have filled the form. It's assistant, it's personal assistant, it's junior assistant grade 1, it's CFSO, TO, or whatever, or any post. Okay, so kindly please mention the posts. Karisma, it's assistant. Anmol, it's CFSO. Ashu, it's CFSO TO. Inba, CFSO and TO. Assistant and CFSO Muskan. Great. Okay. So these classes are in total, there are, I think, the topics, not the classes. So if we'll discuss about the topics, I think there are total 6 topics for assistant and some 8 topics for CFSO and TO, right? So I have observed that some of the questions are being asked from the CFSO and TO syllabus in the exam, okay, in the assistant exam also. So what I want is that I have also added the CFSO and TO classes in the assistant batch, okay. What do I think that the syllabus is not that big for the CFSO and TO batch, okay. So you can easily manage it, easily tackle it, okay. For CFSO and TO students, you have to study from day one to the last day, okay. So each and everything is included in your syllabus. For assistant, okay, you have to study from day one till I say that your syllabus is covered, okay. But I will always request you that to study some of the topics of CFSO and TO because questions have already been asked from that topic, okay. When will the live class PDF be available, Avinaya? So Avinaya, the live class PDF, live class and the PDF, live class PDF you are asking, right? So see, let me explain you how the class works here. So our class will be from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. every day, okay. So then you have other classes also, okay. For assistant batch, you have only one class, that is from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. And this 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., after this class is over, you will get the recorded class as well as the PDF in 24 hours, okay. Let me tell you that the PDF that you will receive is not printable, okay. So what I will do is there is an option of handout, okay. There is an option of handout, okay. So I'll send the PDF of the class in the handout, okay. So I'll provide you the printable PDF as handouts, okay. And as far as the application is concerned, you can always get the recorded classes as well as the PDF that you can open in the app itself and you can read, but yeah, you cannot download from there. So I'll be providing you the downloadable PDFs separately through handouts. Clear, guys? So anyone, before we start the session, do you have any kind of query, any kind of question, any kind of doubt? You can ask. I will first of all clear your queries and doubts, and then we can start the class. Anyone? If not, then we will start the session. Done? Expected exam date. See, now exam date has not been notified yet. So if we talk about the expected exam date, since till 17th, that means till today, you can fill the form. Okay, sorry, you can pay the exam fees. So for that reason, let's consider that your admit card will take another 20 days, minimum 15 to 20 days to be released. So if we'll consider that your admit card will be released in the last week of November, suppose, okay, then your exam can be conducted in the last week of December or in the third week of December. This is the minimum time frame that I'm talking about. Yes, the admit card and the exam can be the exam date or the admit card may also be released at a later date, okay. But this is when will syllabus get completed. This batch, okay, this batch, there are 30 classes. You can check the study plan. I think there are 28 or 30 classes for FSSAI in which the syllabus will be completed for both assistant and CFSO TO. Okay, both the category students. Clear? And the CFSO and TO students also have the food science classes that will be conducted by Ume ma'am at 2 to 2 p.m. So the duration will be 2 to 3 p.m. Okay. So my class is from 1 to 2 p.m. and Ume ma'am's class is from 2 to 3 p.m. And Varsha ma'am's class is I think 4 or 4:30 p.m. Please get it verified. You will also get a notification in the app, okay, about the class timings. Okay. Then will you provide test series? Sorry, Abhinay, this is only live batch. Okay, I can provide some mocks. Okay, if our syllabus is completed in, gets completed before time, then in the remaining classes, obviously we can have some mock tests. And yeah, I am planning for having to conduct one or two full length mock tests for this batch. Okay, after the syllabus ends. Okay, next. Will this batch cover detailed syllabus? Yes, Muskan, this batch will cover detailed syllabus. I'm a new student of your batch, sir. Can you please give me your previous session lectures on application? Mayuri, this is the first class. Okay, there are no previous sessions here. This is the first class. Okay. Yes, Muskan, including everything. Whatever, okay, whatever, or the complete syllabus will be covered in this batch. You don't have to worry about that at all. Okay, you have the study plan. Okay, so you can go through it. Okay, first of all, this is an English batch, guys, so I cannot converse in Hindi. Okay, we cannot talk in Hindi. This is an English batch. Okay, so if someone has joined this batch and you have to speak in, you can speak in Hindi in the comments. I don't have any problem. Okay, but I will always reply in English. You have to keep this in mind. Okay, because this is an English batch. This is not a bilingual batch. Okay, Saurav, I will get a Telegram group soon so that the PDFs will also be shared there, and I will make sure that all of you have joined the Telegram group. Clear, guys? Okay, so shall we start the session? Video quality depends upon your network connection, Muskan. It keeps changing. So if you are seeing the slide in a small place and my video is coming, my video is on the larger side, then double tap on the slide and the slide will be you can see the slide at a larger side. I think it will be visible on your right hand side. Clear? Clear? So shall we start the session? Okay. Abhinay, kindly check your network connection, okay? Because everything is good from my side. Guys, am I audible? Am I visible? And is the slide visible? Please comment with a yes, and then we can start the session. Yes, okay, great. Let's go ahead. So the first thing is, let's discuss about the topic one, because today is an introduction class. I haven't added any of the topics to this class. That means if we don't study anything in this class also, then also it's fine, but we will study. Okay, this is an introduction. So let me tell about the topics first. So you can see 6 topics here. These 6 topics are for assistant, personal assistant, and junior assistant, and CFSO and TO. Okay, that means for everyone, these 6 topics are common. So what are these 6 topics? One is genesis and evolution of FSSAI. So what does genesis mean here? Genesis means formation or origin. Okay, so when the FSSAI was formed, when it was originated, and how did it evolve from a the particular entity to a larger one. So when it was formed, it was a small single entity, but right now FSSAI is really a big authority here. Okay, so administering all the food safety practices and hygienic food practices all over the country. Okay, the second one is structure and functions of food authority. So what is the structure of food authority? I mean, how does it function? We have a central food authority, we have a state food authority here. So how do they work? Okay, what is their organizational structure? And then the functions. Okay, so what are the main functions of the food authority? For example, drafting the rules and regulations, determining the standards, taking care of the stakeholders, taking care of the WTO agreements. There are so many functions of the food authority. Okay, now coming to the third topic. Okay, let's talk about the third one, overview of systems and processes. Now, how things are taking place. Okay, how the things are conducted, what are the functions exactly in case of fixing the standards, when the standards are set, when the standards are enforced, like the law is made, okay, the law is notified, and then the law is enforced. The law is enforced by the judge, by the, the respective authority, like the police officers, okay. So there is an enforcement department, and then we have a laboratory ecosystem. We are dealing with food safety, then obviously we need to deal with food testing, food analysis, okay. So when we're dealing with these things, food testing and food analysis, obviously we need a lab, right? And now we have a food safe a laboratory ecosystem for that. How the laboratories work, how are they connected with each other, how are they connected with the CFSO, how do they coordinate with different departments, okay. So each and everything is seen in case of the laboratory ecosystem. Each and everything is included here. Then we have imports, okay. So whatever is being imported to our country, usually that is checked by the custom officials, okay. You must have heard about the custom officers or custom officials, okay. Now these custom officers or the custom officials here take care of different imported products. So are they safe or not, okay. So in this process, one thing is the food, okay. So the food product that is being imported here, is the food product safe? If it is, if it isn't, then why it isn't safe, by the way, okay. So all of these things are checked by the custom officials, but you have to note that FSSAI promotes these custom officials to authorized officials, okay. So authorized officers are the one who are who are responsible for the food products that are getting imported into our country. Clear? Next. Then we have the third party audit system. If you, I know you must have heard about audit. Okay. So what audit exactly? It is a verification or a process of scrutiny or a process of checking, where usually whenever the audit takes place in an organization, there is a set of objectives. Okay. And the work that is going on or has been done in the past 3 months, 6 months, 1 year is usually taken up, and all these works, a particular schedule is met. So we don't need to know about exactly how the audit process is done, but let me just give you an example, give you an insight how it is done. Okay, so schedule is made, all the works, all the processes that had been done in the last 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, whatever. Okay, it is listed out, and it is usually, it is seen that all these activities, all this work, what has been done, is it complying with the objectives of the organization. Okay, so this is basically known as an audit process. Okay, especially in companies, you might have heard that there are targets to be achieved. So have these targets been achieved, and all these processes, have they been done accordingly? Okay, so similarly, what is the need of audit in case of FSSAI? In case of FSSAI, this audit is usually done for the FBOs. Okay, it is done for the FSSAI, it is done by the auditing system. Okay, and the food business operators are audited here. Okay, the food business outlet or the food business itself is audited. The auditor draws up all the activities that are going on, and are the activities in compliance with the food standards and limits that has been set by FSSAI. Clear, guys? Okay, so this is known as the audit. Now, what exactly is third party audit? See, usually the auditing is done by the licensing authority. Okay, so I just word a Hindi word. I just used a Hindi word. Okay, I'm really sorry. Again, I used. I'm really sorry. Okay, so yeah, let's talk. We're talking about the third party audit, right? So in case of this third party audit, now separate third party, a service provider, you can say, these service providers or these third parties are present, who carries out the audit process, okay, by in exchange of some kind of payments. Okay, now these audits are done by these third party auditors. This should be recognized, accredited, ISO accredited auditors. Okay, and these auditors are usually hired by the FBOs. Okay, the FBOs, the food business operators, they hire the auditors. Okay, the auditors carry out the process, and finally first of all, they discuss the report with the FBOs. Okay, and after that they submit it to the FSSAI. Okay, and we'll also look into this, that how it is done and all. Okay, now let's come to the next thing, that is the promoting safe and wholesome food. Okay, so what is promoting safe and wholesome food? There are so many initiatives that have been launched by FSSAI in order to promote safe food as well as wholesome food. That means it should be nutritious, it should be a balanced food. Okay, so what are these initiatives here? Eat Right India, Food Fortification, Clean Street Food Hub. We have RUCO. RUCO means repurpose used cooking oil. The cooking oil that you are using for frying, okay, that you are using for frying should not be reused for frying purpose. Okay, it can be reused once for making curries or any kind of light, not anything you can do except frying. Okay, you cannot use it again for frying because it contains some toxic compounds. Okay, it contains some toxic compounds. Now what we can do, if you throw it out also, then it will also pose a threat to the environment. So these cooking oil, used cooking oil, are usually reused for the purpose of biodiesel production. Okay, now one important, you can say the best advantage of the biodiesel is that to use biodiesel you don't have to get a new vehicle or you don't have to make any changes to the engine. Okay, biodiesel can be mixed with normal diesel and it can be used in the same engine. Okay, so you have to note this. Okay, it's a very important point here. Okay, in case of biodiesel, in case of all the biofuels, biodiesel has this advantage that you can use it in the same diesel engine. You don't need to change the engine. That's why biodiesel is gaining traction a bit by bit nowadays, and people are also getting aware about this biodiesel. It can be produced from sugarcane, it can be produced from cereals, it can be produced from any kind of green matter, it can also be produced from used cooking oil. Next, we have all those initiatives. We will check these initiatives here. We have Eat Right India, Food Fortification, Clean Street Food Hub, we have FOSTAC, we have Phosphorus. Okay, there are so many initiatives. Okay, we have Javik Bharat. Okay, then training and capacity building. Okay, so these activities here, okay, that are being done by FSSAI, it also involves the training of different people. Now can you say who are these people who needs to be trained? Anyone? Who are these people who needs to be trained? Anyone? Any idea? Who are these people who needs to be trained? Very good, Anmol. Anyone else? No answers? You people, do you people attend YouTube classes? All the people present here, do you people attend YouTube classes? Yes or no? No. No worries. If you don't attend also, it's fine. Okay, because we will be covering everything, each and everything here. Okay. So why I ask this? Because I know those usually the students who are attending the Facebook, sorry, not Facebook, YouTube classes. Okay, they can answer these questions. Okay. Very good, Anmol, Muskan, and Riddhi. So Anmol said that employees and FBO. Very good. And then who said Muskan? Sailors. Very good. Riddhi. Anyone related to food industry can attend the capacity building courses. Very good. This is the perfect answer out here. Okay. So anyone, not only FBOs, not only employees, anyone can get the training, anyone can get the certification. But the thing is, there are different things for different people. There are different kinds of training for the people present in the organization, that is they are the employees. Okay, there are different training and different certification courses for the people who are getting involved in the food business. They can be, they can be students, they can be NGOs, they can be the food business operators, anyone. Okay, and the sixth one is the role of state food authorities. Now when we're talking about the state food authorities, on the apex, on the top, we have the state food safety commissioner. Okay, state food safety commissioner. Okay, he or she is present at the apex of the state food authority. Then we have the AO, adjudicating officer. We have DO, designated officer. We have the CFSO, and we have the food analyst. Okay, so these are the main five authorities, or you can say that these are the main five entities that we are going to look into when we are studying about the role of food safety or the role of state food authorities. Clear? Let's move on to the next slide. So these are the, and now according to the FSSAI syllabus, these are the topics that are required for CFSO TO. Okay, it is required for CFSO and TO. But I would recommend the other students to study a part of it. I'll tell which of the classes you need to attend. Okay, because there are some relatable topics that might be asked in the exam, and you cannot say that this is not present in our syllabus. Okay, so the first one here is food safety ecosystem. Now, what exactly is the food safety ecosystem? Now, when we're talking about food safety ecosystem, it's not the food, it's not the consumer. We are taking into account each and every entity that is present here. Okay. For example, I'm a consumer. Okay. I'm a consumer of the food. Okay. Let's take an example that I have a cup of coffee here. Okay. I have a cup of coffee here. Now, this coffee exactly is safe or not. Okay. So, how will I know? I haven't prepared this coffee. Someone else had prepared this coffee. He or she brought me this coffee, right? So what I did, I consumed it or I drank it, right? So now when I'm talking about the food safety ecosystem, I am involved here. This food is involved here. The person who made the food, the cook, he or she is involved. The person who served me the food, okay, he or she again is involved here, okay. And the rules and regulations that have been made by government, that is also involved here. So if we'll talk about the food safety ecosystem, we have the government, we have the food business operators, and we also have the consumers. Okay, so these people are involved in this food safety ecosystem here. Okay, so in case of food safety ecosystem, we are going to study about national and international food ecosystem. What are the national food ecosystem? What are the international food ecosystem? What is the international food ecosystem? Okay, and we'll also focus on the roles, functions, and initiatives of FSSAI. Now, I don't need to repeat this thing. I don't need to repeat because this has already been covered here. Okay, roles, what is it? Okay, it will also be covered here, roles and functions and initiatives of FSSAI. This one here, we will cover all the initiatives promoting safe and wholesome food. Clear? Next, we have Food Safety and Standards Act, or in short, it is known as FSS Act. Clear? This is also known as FSS Act. Okay, so FSS Act 2006. What are the provisions? What are the different definitions related to FSS Acts? What are the different sections of this act and how this is implemented? Clear? Now, third, let's talk about the FSS rules and regulations. Okay, so what are the different FSS rules and regulations? Okay, there are different rules and regulations here. You might have seen 2011, 2012, 2013. There are so many years. Okay, we'll talk about these rules and regulations. Overview of other relevant national bodies like APEDA, BIS, EIC, MPEDA, Spice Board, etc. We'll also talk about these national bodies. Okay, now talking about MPEDA, this is Marine Products Export Development Authority. So all the marine products that are exported, okay, this is the development authority for that. And here it is agricultural processed products. Okay, and next, international food control systems or laws. What are the different systems? What are the different laws, okay, that prevails in the international system? Next, regulations and standards guidelines regarding food safety. Overview of Codex Alimentarius Commission. We will also talk about this. What exactly is Codex Alimentarius Commission here? What is its history? Who are the members? How are the standards set? And what are the advisory mechanisms? Now, talking about the advisory mechanisms, we have some advisory mechanisms listed here. These are JECFA, JEMRA, and JNPR. Okay, so we'll also talk about these. Now, the last one is the WTO agreements like the SPS, the phytosanitary standard here. Okay, and the TBT also. So we'll also talk about these WTO agreements. What are these? How are these implemented? Okay. Next, important national and international accreditation bodies. So if we talk about the national accreditation bodies, we have NABL. Anyone? What is the full form of NABL and what does it do? Anyone? What is the full form of NABL and what does it do? Can this be classes? Can these classes be attended in laptop? Yes, Inba, these classes can be attended in laptop. And I would suggest you people to attend in laptop because you have a bigger screen there. Okay, so it will be better. I mean, the experience will be better. Okay, whenever you'll be attending in the laptop, you'll also have the comment section in the side and all. Okay, so the interface changes. That's it. Sir, will you provide the recorded video of this class? I'm unable to get video class now. Sure, Ashu. the recorded videos will be provided within 24 hours. Okay. Anmol National Accreditation Board for Laboratories. But what is the full form? What is the full? This is not the full form. Okay. You can say that this is what NABL is, but it's not the full form of NABL. Anyone? National Accreditation Board for how can we attend it in laptop? Go to Adda 24/7 website, log in with your email ID, and there you can see my purchases or my courses, okay, or my live classes. You can get the live classes there in the laptop. Okay. So I would always recommend you to go and watch in the laptop itself. It will be better than watching in your mobile phone. Testing and Calibration Laboratories, National Accreditation Board for Testing and Calibration Laboratories, very good Abhinaya. National Accreditation Board for Testing and Calibration Laboratories, very good Riddhi. National, yes. National Accreditation Board for Testing and Calibration Laboratories. Clear, guys? Okay, this is the full form of NABL. This is our National Accreditation Board. Okay, all these laboratories, all the testing laboratories, food testing analysis, they have to be accredited by the NABL. Clear? So these are the topics. Okay, so let's start. Just a minute. Okay, so let's resume the session. Okay, sorry for the interruption. So let's take a look at the journey of food safety in India. So is this image visible, everyone? Is it visible? Because I know that all the people who are attending this class in mobile, I think the image might not be visible to you. Okay, but the people attending in laptop, the image must be clear for them. Okay, so that's why sometimes laptop has its benefits, and again mobile is easy to carry. Okay, tiny. Yeah, right. No worries. I will give you the image separately. But for the time being, if you want to look at the image, then go to the YouTube channel of Agriculture Adda 24/7. Go to the community page, and there you will see there you will find this image. Or you can go to the Telegram channel of Agriculture Adda 24/7. You will also find this image there. I have posted. Okay. Anyways, let's start the session. Let's resume the session. So, 1916, an idea was born that we need food safety in India. We need a legislation, we need a regulation, a proper authority or a proper body for the food safety. Okay. Then 1954, first legislation notified. That means for the first time, not exact, yeah, it was an act. Okay, so an act was introduced for food safety. Okay, so here it is mentioned that the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act came into force. Okay, what was the name of that? Prevention of Food Adulteration Act. Okay, next in the year 2004, there are multiple laws. Okay, from 1954 to 2004, there were so many laws that were formed, okay, that were enacted in relation to the food safety, that we literally had a bucket of laws. Okay, so all of these laws were reviewed, and then it was seen that there are some activities that are being done multiple times just because we have multiple laws here. Okay, so a recommendation was received that these multiple laws should be consolidated. Okay, what it should be done? It should be consolidated. Okay, so that it can be framed into only into one law or any one act. Clear? Next, in the year 2006, the FSS Act, the most important act in the history of food safety, was introduced or enacted. Okay, which act? FSS Act. And in the year 2008, FSSAI was set up, but it was not operationalized. Okay, it was not working, it was not formally working, but yes, FSSAI was set up. Okay, now, at that time, FSSAI had 8 scientific panels, and anyone who can tell me that how many scientific panels exists right now? How many scientific panel exists right now? Anyone? How many scientific panel exists right now? At that time, in the year 2008, there were 8 scientific panels. So how many scientific panels are present right now? Anyone? If you don't know, then tell no that we don't know, so that I will proceed. If you don't know, always tell yeah, I don't know, then we can proceed. Come on. Anmol 21, Sarita 17. Okay. 22, I guess, Avinaya. Okay. The right answer is 21. Okay, very good, Anmol. Okay, the right answer is 21. Right now, there are 21 scientific panels. 21 scientific panels. So if we are talking about the scientific committee, then 21 chairperson from each panel. I mean, one chairperson from each panel, 21 chairperson, plus 6 independent advisors. Okay, this is the committee. Okay, and this is the scientific panel. Okay, so now talking about the operationalization, that how the FSSAI was operationalized in the year 2011. Okay, the FSSAI was operationalized in the year 2011. Okay, then food import clearance system FICS was also introduced in 2011. Okay, and the licensing was mandatory now. Mandatory licensing. Now, each and every food business operator has to, what they have to do? They have to procure, or they have to apply for the license, for the food safety, for the FSSAI license. You must have seen in many products at the back or the of the wrapper or the packet, there is a logo of FSSAI with the LIC number. Now that exactly is the license number here. Okay. Now talking about 2012, what happened in 2012? In 2012, the credibility, the credibility of, here it is written building credibility. Now what kind of credibility was built? Credibility for the food testing and analysis laboratories by NABL. So NABL was NABL accredited the first set of laboratories for food testing and analysis in the year 2012. Okay. Now talking about 2013 here. Okay, the visibility. Okay, enhancing the visibility. So what is done? The just now I said that FSSAI logo and LIC or license number is present. So that was done in 2013. In 2013, it was mandated that all the food products should have the FSSAI logo and the license number. Okay. Now talking about 2016, what happened in 2016 here? Adopting a collaborative multi-stakeholder approach. That means stakeholder, just now we have discussed that all those people who get affected or get impacted due to any kind of decision taken by the FSSAI. Okay, so adopting a collaborative multi-stakeholder approach, what happened is that there are so many initiatives that were formed during this time, and as well as so many organizations that got attached with FSSAI. Okay, talking about some of the initiative, the FOSTAC training gained traction. Okay, then the food fortification. Okay, the food fortification, the standards for food fortification, the logo of the food fortification, how the research should be done, what are the resources for the food fortification, everything was made clear in the year 2016. Now 2017, what happened in 2017 here? Okay, so transparency, the ensuring transparency, consistency, and predictability. That means each and every one, okay, each and every person had access to the lab testing reports, whenever a sample is being provided, where the sample has been sent, at what time will it be analyzed, who will analyze it, everything was made transparent. Each and every person had the access to the data. Now by each and every person, I mean the concerned authorities also. Okay, may it be the CFSO, may it be the TO, maybe the food business operator or the state food safety commissioner, anyone. Okay, so here it is written powerful IT based laboratory networking platform Infolnet. Okay, so Infolnet is a laboratory network system. Simply, if we'll talk about this, is a trace and track website where you can trace and track where your analysis is being done, in which place, in which lab, each and everything. Okay, then uniform inspection and sampling IT platform, that is Phosphorus. Okay, Phosphorus was also introduced at this time to carry out the sampling procedure, and a third party audit system was also initiated during these times. And finally, coming to the 2018, the One Nation One Food law was established. Okay, the a first roundtable conference or a meeting, you can say, of the state health ministers were organized, and a One Nation One Food law was introduced. Okay, then the first national food laboratory in Ghaziabad was also established, as well as the first nationwide interactive AI. If, for example, if you go to the IRCTC website, you can see there is a AI known as Ask, or a chat, not exactly an AI, it is a chat bot. Okay, Ask Disha. Okay, so Disha is literally direction in English. Okay, so similarly, in case of food safety FSS AI, we have a chat bot. The name of this chatbots: Food Guru and Food Funda. Clear? So these are the names of the chat bots. So this is in brief the journey of food safety in India. Clear, guys? Now, next one. So as you can see this picture, the food safety, okay, the food safety is a shared responsibility, is mentioned in the center, and we have the government organization, the food business, and the consumer on the three sides. Okay, so talking about the government organization here, okay, what exactly does it mean? It means FSSAI, the Food Authority of India. Okay, the authority or the agent, the body that is responsible for food safety all over the country. Okay, then consumer, people like you, people like me who are consuming the food, we should also how is government organization, how the FSSAI is ensuring food safety? By introducing different rules and regulations. Okay, by introducing different rules and regulations, the government organization or the FSSAI is ensuring the safety of the food system. Now, who are the persons who are going to follow these rules and regulations? Obviously, the food business operators, right? The FBOs. They are the ones who are going to follow these rules, these regulations, these standards that have been set by the government organization. Okay, now talking about the food businesses, so they should also be aware, they should also take care of the food. Okay, whatever the food is, okay, whatever they are preparing, they should make sure that it reaches us in a safe and hygienic condition. Okay, now as a consumer, we should also take care that the food we are consuming should be safe and hygienic from our end. It should not be poisoned, it should not be contaminated. Clear? Okay, next. Genesis and evolution of FSSI. Now this topic has been scheduled for tomorrow, but fine, we have time. Okay, we can continue this topic. Okay, so genesis and evolution of FSSI, how the FSSI was formed and how did it evolve. Okay, so FSSI was established in the year 2008, but it was operationalized in the year 2011. So it was again established, or it was formally inaugurated, okay, by former Union Health Minister Dr. Anbumani Ramados, Government of India, on 5th August 2011, and it was operationalized under the Food Safety and Standards Act 2006. Okay, Food Safety and Standards Authority of India is an autonomous body. Yes, it is an autonomous body. It has its own frame of policies. It has its own set of rules and regulations. Okay, so it was established under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Okay, the FSSAI has been established under the Food Safety and Standards Act 2006, which is a consolidating statute related to the food safety and regulation in India. That means all the food safety and regulation, everything is available on this in this act. Okay. FSSAI is responsible for protecting and promoting public health through regulation and supervision of the food safety. So it is going to regulate. See, all these points sound kind of same, okay? Because each and every point, what we need to remember is about the food safety. Now, the food safety, the food should be safe, and FSSAI should be completely involved in this system. Okay. FSSAI is responsible for protecting and promoting public health through the regulation and supervision of food safety. The FSSAI is headed by a non-executive person. Okay, that means this person, okay, the chairperson of FSSAI is not responsible for all the executive operations. Rather, the FSSAI has a CEO, okay, who is Sri Arun Singhal. He is responsible for the executive operations, all the work, all the activities that are going on. FSSAI is headed by a non-executive chairperson appointed by the central government, either holding or has held the position of not below the rank of secretary. Okay, what should be the rank? It should be secretary to the government of India. Next one is Rita Teotia. Now, Rita Teotia is the current chairperson of FSSAI, and Sri Arun Singhal is the current chief executive officer of FSSAI. Now, you have to remember this point here. Next, the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, FSSAI, has been established under Food Safety and Standards 2006. Again, the same kind of point. But the thing is, what you need to understand here, what you need to emphasize here is that the Food Safety and Standards 2006, which we will study, I think, after 15 or 13 to 14 days, I think, on our 13th or 14th class we'll be studying about this, okay, which consolidates various acts. Now, what are these acts, what are these orders? Okay, these we are also going to study. FSSAI has been created for laying down science-based standards. Okay, so now these standards are completely science-based. Okay, it's not instinct-based that yeah, I should make a standard like this. No, it's completely science-based. It's completely evidence-based. Okay, for articles of food, and to regulate their 5 things. What are these 5 things? 1, manufacture. 2, storage. 3, distribution. Number 4, sale. And 5, import. These are the 5 main things that FSSAI has to take care of. Now, the first one is manufacture here. Okay, so if I'll talk about manufacture, so whenever we are manufacturing, now see, let's talk about jaggery. Okay, now sugarcane is not manufactured, sugarcane is grown. Okay, so after that, the processing units, what they do, they crush the sugarcane, they extract the juice, and from that juice, jaggery, sugarcane, then we have byproducts like jaggery, sugar, then we have byproducts like molasses, baggage, filter or press mud. Okay, all these products and byproducts are usually extracted. Okay, so this manufacturing, or we can say the processing process, is important. Okay, because the safety standards that are to be maintained are the safety standards should also be complied or maintained in the processing industries also. For example, if you are using a really old machine here, then it can also create contamination, it can also induce contamination in your food. Now, talking about the storage, okay, so you have to store the food properly. Okay, just now I think we had discussed that whenever you're going to store the food, you should check the temperature. Okay, so especially the food should be stored. If the food is going to be stored in the refrigerator, then it should be cool. It should not be warm, or it should not be hot. Okay, there are so many things here. Then third is the distribution. When the food is being distributed, for let's take an example of the bakeries. Okay, so bakeries, they use wheat flours, okay, and refined wheat flours for the cookies, breads, and all, cakes, pastries. Okay, and so these cakes, pastries, or whatever the bakery products are, now these are transported from the processing or manufacturing unit to the different shops. Okay, now these are distributed through different vans, different vehicles. So it should be made sure that these vehicles are safe, They are not infested by any kind of pests, cockroaches, and all. Okay. Then sale. While selling the product, also the food should be stored properly. The food should be displayed properly. The food should be packed properly. And finally, import. When a food product is imported into our country, the custom officials or the authorized officers make sure that the food is not contaminated, that the food is not infected in any means, okay, or any way. Clear? Next. The FSSAI has its headquarters at New Delhi. Okay, where is the headquarters of FSSAI? New Delhi. Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Government of India, is the administrative ministry for the implementation of FSSAI. Same kind of thing, but presented in a different way. The chairperson and chief executive officer of Food Safety Standards of Authority of India have already been appointed by the Government of India. Okay. Now, last, the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India was established in 2008. Okay, always remember this. Under aegis of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, with the mandate. Now, what is the mandate here? That means something that is mandatory, that has to be done in FSSAI, for laying down science-based standards. Again, the same thing for articles of food and to regulate their manufacture, storage, distribution, sale, and import. Now, why have I have repeated some things here? Why did I do that? So that I can show you that how different points can be framed for the same information. Okay, so these are some of the main points that have been used on the FSSAI websites and all. Okay. Next, so the FSSAI has been established under the Food Safety and Standards Act 2006, and at the apex level, now this is an important point here, at the apex level, there is Food Authority, which is a single reference point for all matters related to food safety and standards in the country. For each and every matter, okay, related to food safety and standards, the responsible authority is Food Authority, and this Food Authority is chaired by the CEO of FSSAI. Clear? It has different members. We have scientific panels, we have scientific committee. We will read about these also. Okay. The Food Authority is assisted by scientific committees and panels in setting standards, and central advisory committee coordinating with enforcement agencies. Now, this point is important here, that what do the scientific committees and panels do? They help in setting the standards. And what do the central advisory committee do? They help in coordinating with the enforcement agencies. That means the people who make sure that a particular standard is being enforced in the food business. Okay, again the same kind of point. Okay, that the Food Authority guides and regulates persons engaged in manufacturing, process, import, storage, distribution, and retail of food, and on different issues of food safety also. And not only that, the FSSAI is also taking up the nutrition point here. Okay, that means the food that you are eating, it should not be only safe, it should be nutrient. It should be nutriated. I got confused. Okay, so it should be nutrient dense and balanced. Okay, with primary responsibility for enforcement largely with the State Food Safety Commissioner. The FSSAI, the central entity, what it does is it sets up the standards, it sets the limits, but the entity that is responsible for the enforcement of these rules and regulations is the State Food Safety Commissioner, or you can simply say the State Food Authority. Clear, guys? The chairperson and chief executive officer of FSSAI are appointed by the central government. Okay, so the chairperson and chief executive officer, again the same point. Okay, this one I think this was a typing mistake here. The head office of the authority is located at FDA Bhavan, Kotla Road, New Delhi. Okay, and with this, your session ends today. So if you have any doubt regarding the session, you can ask me. Okay, and let me provide you the handout also. Okay, so just a minute. I'll also provide you the handout. So in laptop, you have an option to download the handout also. I'm not sure about mobile. Okay. So through handout, I will be providing you the downloadable lecture, downloadable PDF. Okay. That means you can simply download this PDF and use it. Just a minute. Yes. So just tell me when you receive the handouts, guys. A Telegram group will be started, but not today. Okay, so the PDF has been uploaded. Kindly download the handout and please give me a confirmation in the comment section that you have downloaded the handouts. Got it? Downloaded. Great, great, great. Okay, so this was your first class. Okay, this was the first session. So I hope so you got the content here, the concepts here. Okay, so if you have any doubt, obviously you can ask. Okay. Yes. Yes, every day at 1 p.m. Okay, every day 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. you will be having classes. Okay, same time. Okay, if there is any changes, then obviously I'll inform you. Okay, so no worries at all. Okay, you got the PDF. Very good, very good, very good. Okay. Some people are saying that I'm not audible or the slide is not visible. I think it's due to your network issue. Okay, because I right now I don't have any network issue from my side. So kindly please check this. Okay, so it happens sometimes due to this network instability and all. Okay, kindly get your network connection. You cannot get your network connection fixed. Okay, so kindly check that. Okay. So there isn't any single book which I can recommend. Okay. So these are, see, most of the things are available on FSSI website. Okay. But the thing is, you have to find those and you should study those things. Okay. So guys, let's meet in the next class. Okay. Till then, take care, goodbye, and stay safe. So tomorrow it will be at 1 p.m.